Hello. Right. I was just laughing at that countdown because it looks great. I'm really pleased with it, but it skips it skips a second every so often. I don't know why it does that, but there we go. Never mind. We're here now, and carrying on with the theme of cartridges that I really should rescue from the attic. Because I've got a Game Boy. I've talked about this before. I've got an original Nintendo Game Boy. Actually, there's two kicking about up there somewhere. Well, I've only got like one full set of games, if you like. Not full. I don't own them all. That would have cost me hundreds of pounds even back then. I've got, say, about 12 games, I reckon. I can't remember. I'll have to get them up now. So I remember having Lemmings, a Double Dragon, Jurassic Park was in there. I never had Pokemon. Don't know why that passed me by, but there we are. Never had any Pokemon games. Gosh, I'm trying to remember now. What else did I have? Oh, Top Ranking Tennis. I had that. And Super Mario 1 and 2 and Tetris. Well, Tetris comes with the Game Boy, so, you know. Or it came with the Game Boys I had anyway. So I had 2 copies of Tetris, so I could play 2-player. Me and Dad with the Game Boy. With 2 Game Boys linked together, and that was the only game I could play 2-player. This was probably my go-to game. Oh, Bugs Bunny as well. I had Bugs Bunny. I know Super Mario Land 1 is a classic, and I enjoyed playing that as well, but I always enjoyed playing Super Mario Land 2 a little bit more. Maybe it's just because the graphics were a bit better, but also easier to see, because when I was talking about the Game Boy last time, I had all the accessories as well. So I had the clip-on magnifier that had the lights in it, and so long car journeys would involve sort of squinting at a screen because the battery was running out. The battery was running out on the Game Boy. Battery was running out on the light as well. And Super Mario Land 2 is a bit easy to see, and I don't know, just fancied giving it a go. Just a little quick stream, because I always said, I said in the description down below, by the way, there's links to YouTube and Discord and Twitter and all that stuff, but I put in that, so I just realised as well, last time I had my keyboard slid out in front of me, and I accidentally hit space and made the Game Boy emulator go at super speed, like 10,000 times the game speed. Lost all my lives like that, so I'm putting the keyboard away. But yeah, I said that I was going to do 1 stream a week. Yeah. Even that's fallen by the wayside. So I did 3 streams a few weeks ago. Then I seem to have had a week off because I was busy doing work and stuff, and yeah, work's great, but and as I've said before, I don't take it for granted at all. Not everybody has been able to carry on working. I've been incredibly lucky to be able to carry on working from home. The downside being that this whole setup here is what I see from 9 to 5, maybe 9 till 6. And I was working hard last week as well, every single day. So sometimes it can be good to have a bit of a PC detox. And so, yeah, last week I just didn't. After work, I just didn't even go on the PC. I think not a technology detox. I still have my tablet and phone and everything, but just didn't really have the energy for it anyway. And also, it was like, yeah, I've been here for 7 hours a day. You know, is that right? 9 hours a day. I don't know. 9 till 6. Let's do some maths. 1, 2, 3, 4. With an hour for lunch. Well, yeah, okay, 8 hours, 9 hours, depending on finished at different times. Because obviously, if you've nearly finished, I'm doing coding at the moment. If you've nearly finished a piece of code, you don't want to leave it on half. So I'd push on maybe a little bit, and then it would nearly work, and then it'd be 6 o'clock, and then it'd be 7 o'clock. Nobody was forcing me to stay till 7 or anything. I just felt like I wanted to finish it off. And yeah, by then I was just, I'm not really up to streaming. That was the excuse. I know other people stream with far less energy, but I'm just getting into it. I haven't learned how to turn on that switch yet. For the radio show, I can, but of course, the radio show I could do with my eyes closed, and not literally. I need to be able to see what tracks I'm playing. But it's audio only, the radio show, until Off the Chart Radio relaunched. You can see videos as well. Well, you can see videos below, video clips from the shows that we did when we relaunched. But I used to do it regularly from 2007 to 2014, and then it was just audio only, so between tracks I could just sit back and go. I don't know why that sounded weird. Bit of a joke wheeze there, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Right, there we go, clear my throat. got my squash all lined up. But yeah, I mean, you know, once you'd prepare your music so you'd know exactly where you're going with your music. Sometimes I prepare better than others, but yeah, quite often I'd even have gone through and lined up the tracks back to back and gone, right, this goes with this, this goes with this is when I need to fire this. So most of the time between tracks it was just a case of I could sit back and enjoy the music myself. Streaming's a different beast, of course. You can't just sort of go, right, I've done my introduction now, turn that up. You can't really do that. Well, you can. My stream, I can if I want to, but I won't. I'm trying to get into it properly and do it all properly. So yeah, Super Mario Land 2, who's up for saying that? Me? Yeah, I am. Because I've got it already lined up, so may as well do it, innit? Where are we there? Okay. So at first, I thought this wasn't working, but it just doesn't play any sound on the demo for some reason. Ready for the nostalgia hit? Oh. And even that slowdown there, that sounds like it might be the emulator being a bit buggy. Stuttering on the sound there. No, I remember it doing that exact thing at that exact time on the Game Boy as well. That little stutter. So, full on nostalgia. Okay, do we do A, B or C? What do we reckon? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. If anybody wants to chip in with a vote. A, B or C? Otherwise I'm going to pick at random. I think I always used to pick A, so let's pick B. Last chance. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going for it. I remember this, so you have to kind of... Oh, right, I can't move anywhere because I haven't completed the level that's associated with. Maybe I just preferred music, I don't know. And the boxes were bigger to hit actually as well. So I was talking about having the game light. Ah! There we go. And so yeah, squinting in the car on long journeys, this was a lot easier to see. Let's go down there. Yay, those coins. Oh, nostalgia's just rushing back now. And I know lots of people have been playing the emulator versions on the Switch and things like that, and that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Thought you could run, yeah, if you hold down B. Oh, I lost my mushroom. Yeah, if you hold down B, you run. So, thought so. What's interesting is you can sometimes go down those tubes with the plants in. Ah, I think that one maybe you can. No, okay. When I'm small Mario, I can't get that. Can't smash those ones. Holding down B now to go faster. That will start me back there. Hey, fireballs. Gosh, my aim is so terrible. No, okay. I thought I could spin. Ah, right, yeah. Thought so. It's all coming back to me now. So if I press down and then jump, which is A, yeah. But so, no, it's absolutely fab that you can get these games. Those are the ones that you only can destroy the fireball. But this is, I hope, a little bit closer to the authentic experience. A little bit. Playing the Game Boy on a SNES controller connected to a very fast PC, relatively speaking, to a Game Boy anyway. But I've been watching lots of videos. I've been watching Modern Vintage Gamer doing videos about how incredible the hardware on the Game Boy is. Oh. Just a little potluck bonus game there. What's this mean then? Oh, because I didn't have enough coins, right? So it's like gambling. Oh, dear. Didn't realise that. Advocating gambling for kids. This is basically a slot machine. I just spent. I thought it was just a bonus, and then I remembered no, it's the amount of coins. So I'm spending that many coins. I got a level up, I suppose, but you know, extra life. But still, it's a bit worrying. I didn't know it did that. There we go. Cool. Can I jump on them? No. That was a mistake. Maybe I should rely on my memory more than questioning it. No, I'm not gonna get through. Oh. Music's great, isn't it, though? Gosh, it takes me back. Come on, give me a mushroom. I need my mushroom back. That doesn't make me sound crazy at all. Can you imagine that, actually? If people went around talking about, like, walking around shops or something. Or the best, but talking as if they were streaming. That could be quite funny. I know they've got IRL streams. Why not have an IRL as if you're gaming stream? Me just saying in the supermarket, I need my mushroom back. The staff just going, this mushroom's just there. No, not that mushroom. The mushroom that makes me bigger. It's like, all mushrooms make you bigger. Oh, yeah, that was risky. This is the other downside of trying to talk and play. Not very good at talking and doing most things. Nothing to do with the stereotype about multitasking. I can multitask, but just not talk and concentrate on playing. That's the excuse I use for why I'm so bad at FPS games anyway. Right, let's not do the same thing again. No, I can't get up. Okay. So I have to go past you. Alright, there we go. Go through. Oh! Ah! Come on. That was just overlapping pixels with the sprite. I wasn't actually in his jaws then. Let's go down here. That was close. Oh! Gotta be precise with these games. How I managed to play these while I wasn't driving, obviously. I was gonna say while driving then. How I managed to play these while in the back of the car, I don't know. I guess just years, and you know, I'm playing catch up with most games, but this is, when was the last time I played this? Gosh, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Does the bell take you into bonus level? And if you just go into goal, it doesn't give you a bonus? I'm not sure. Ah! Useless at this. But yeah, gosh, the last time I played this would have been... when I was a teenager? So, a little while. it's not Sonic the Hedgehog, Jamie. There's no hidden levels over there. Ah. Disappointed at the lack of power-ups there. Don't come back down. Good, right. We're through. Yeah, I've been watching, you know, Mouse _ UK on Twitch. He's been, oh, that's quite fun. Not. So there is a time limit. Just realised in the bottom right hand corner. Oh! How did I jump on that? Gosh. It didn't come through then. Yeah, he's been playing, it has been a little while now, but he's often got Super Mario. What's he got? It's a thing that you can create levels. I don't know what it's called now, I've forgotten. This is going to be dangerous power up. Ah. And it didn't even give me a mushroom. Ah. Come on. Oh, I've got to go up here. Right, okay. Well, forget the fireball, Mario. Then I won't need the mushroom. Oh. Right, so where was it? Over here. Where's... Oh, I've got to go through here if I to get it. Ooh, that's a bit risky. I should have jumped. Should have jumped. Oh! Someone set a timer. It's got to be about the same point in the game, not necessarily in the stream, but the same point in the game that I start just doing stupid things like that. 3 lives left. Like, just not concentrating. Too carried away with the music, that's what's wrong, obviously. I'm not going to bother to go over there, only because I know there's nothing there. Just get out of here. Can't be bothered going for the fireball. Right. So what did I do wrong last time? Apart from just do something really daft. Oh yeah. Try to go right, I'm not going to bother to go that way. It's hard enough. I can duck here if I'm at risk. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to come back to me now. All of these levels I really disliked. Probably got caught out by some of these circles as well. Ah! And as if prophetically. Right, okay. Let's just try and get through it then. I forget that. Oh, I have to go down there. Okay, fine. Gonna follow me now, aren't you? You see, I was closer to that thing. I swear I was. Than some of the other things that have got me. So how does that work? Ah, well. No, I'm not going to bother. Let's just get through it. What did I do wrong last time? Ooh. I went up there. Oh, I just caught up by a turtle, didn't I? Right, I'm going to wait for them to go back in now. Let's just not be cocky. Oh! Come on! That was his tail! That was his tail! If at first you don't succeed, fail, fail and fail again. That's how it goes, right? Oh, I just said I wasn't going to go up there. But then I suppose if I have that, then I can get the turtles, so... Turtle on the steps. Alright, fine. Let's do it then. Right. Should have learnt my lesson now. Get as close as you can. Then go under. And then... No. No. Can't duck under that one. There's not enough room. I'm going to go before I lose all my lives. Come back to that one. I think this is what I always ended up doing. Never actually completing a zone. Because... Oh. Can I do that jump thing as Small Mario? No, I can't. See, you have to be Super Mario to do that. If you're wondering what I was talking about there, what I mean is... Find another question mark box, I'll show you. So before I was Small Mario, now I'm Super Mario. You can get the question mark boxes from above, at least in this version of the game you can. Super Mario Land 2. Oh! Are those not things that can hurt me? Or was it just fluke? I think it was just fluke. I'm not going to rely on it. Ah! I said I was going to show you and then I did it from below anyway. Oh no! I thought I could jump on that. Oh my gosh. Need more coffee, don't I? Yeah. Can I get 6 golden coins? Nope. Grand total 0. Gosh. Right. What's that mean? Oh, have I got continues? Is that what B means? Okay, right. Let's try and not be silly again then. Not sure how that happened, but we're back in the game. And it's not like Sonic, by the way. I talk about Sonic a lot, because obviously that was one of my other favourite games. In Sonic, if you collected the rings, you sort of got a bit of a reprieve from losing a life, so... You'd lose all your rings first, then if something else got you, you would... then you'd lose your life. Mario's not like that. That was silly. Needed that mushroom. Ah! Answer to that question is yes then. Yes, they can kill you. Yeah, there's no such reprieve here. It doesn't matter how many coins you've got. You'll still lose a life if you do something stupid, like I just did. This used to be one of my favourite levels, becoming less so now. 'Cause I like the cogs, I think. And now I'm finding myself, like, old memories from, yeah, as I say, from being a kid, basically. Coming back to me for how I used to play it. It's weird. It's like muscle memory coming back. Which is even weirder given that I'm playing it on a SNES controller, but... There we go. Weird what you remember, isn't it? Oh! No, you want to go back up there. Right, I can show you that thing now. In theory. Yeah, I remember doing this as well. Right, so I should be able to jump from above. There we go. You can only do that in Super Mario. Now I know you can't land on that thing. Why I thought you did. Why I thought you could, I don't know. Oh no! I can't get back onto it. No, okay. We're done. A bit further along than we were. And that... Oh, this is fun. Carrot. Now how do I fly? Alright, yeah, so A. A repeatedly. He doesn't gain height. You can keep him at a constant height. But you basically got your initial jump. And that's it. And he doesn't glide, as you can see. Quite fun. So you can do things like that. Oh! Killer posi... Killer posi drives. And you can't do the spinning jump when... from above. So I basically have to brave those screws if I want to. Get any of those question mark boxes. Gonna follow me now, aren't they? Dash, right, okay. And I can't, right, those ones with the two lines on, those ones there, you need to have the fireball to punch through those, so I can't go in there. So I can fly with my bunny ears, and that's about all I can do. And there's another one. Right, need to get over that somehow. Okay. How do I do that then? Oh, you got multiple bounce if you hold down A when you're in this mode. I can't get out. I'm gonna have to do that now. Can I jump on these? Ah, dopey. Weird things. Right, come on. There we go, that's what I need. It's weird that you end up in a situation where you can't actually complete the level without that. Very strange. There we are. Guess there's a... And now I'm running out of time. Fab. Ah! Ah! I can't get the aim. Uh, 70 seconds. Oh, I think I'm gonna run out of time. Speedboard. Come on. No, I can't get across to there. Can't get out. How do I get out? Oh, there. How did I not do that before? Doesn't matter. Oof. I don't remember being that stressed ever before Super Mario. Oh, blimey. Okay, weird pigs. There. Weird pigs that shoot cannonballs, obviously, because you know, because that makes sense. That's the thing. That's quite neat. Managed to sort of kill the cannonball somehow by very strange things going on. And balloons you can stand on. I mean, if these were real balloons, can you imagine? It'd be like an episode of Total Wipeout. There we go. What have we got down here then? Ah, I shouldn't have gone up there. Can I go down? No. Alright, so one-way pipes. Right, so I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone... I was going to say that was very nearly just a loss of a power-up then. Ah, there we go. Got an extra life. Well, we're doing better than the last time, aren't we? That'll get me safely over the spikes then. Come on, come back. Beach ball's got a mind of its own. Don't tell me it only happens once, and if you miss it, that's it. Come on, where are you? That was silly. I won't make it. Oh, I did that. Nope. Right, so you gotta catch that beach ball before it goes. I'll learn. Right, so what do I need to do this time? Wait. Is the answer there? I answered my own question. That was nearly nearly coming a cropper then. If I had Flying Mario then it would have been okay. Ah! Didn't necessarily want to be up there. Right, well that's something. Now we know how to do this one. Done that one. Ah, but I haven't got the fireball to get. It's just gonna need precision now. Oh, that was close. Was it worth it? I don't know. I do it without the fireball, so there we go. Ah, now I have to jump on top of you. Okay, but we're still okay. I'm not going to bother to go for the coins. Just going to get over these. And patiently wait. Right, that's only to continue. That doesn't mean it's over. Oh! That was just silly. But at least I start from there. I don't have to go back to the beginning again because I rang the bell. So that's very similar to Sonic. I guess lots of platforms are fairly similar to each other in some ways. I say lots, not all. Not even most, really. Alright. That's quite handy actually right now. I can just fly right over the top, but downside is I don't know what I'm landing on. Oh! That was a stroke of luck. That was pure luck. Okay, if I land on this one... That's kind of a bit redundant, because we're there. I was so close earlier as well. There we go. First boss level of the game then. Oh, and a different power-up thing. Power-up gamble. I've already got that. Oh, I lost my bunny ears. I don't need to carry through to the next level anyway. What the heck is that? I'm going to assume that it can get me and not mess about. Now, if I remember rightly, these things have a nasty habit of just dropping you. Yeah, see? Well remembered. Now I can do the spin from above. Fireball, fantastic. Oh, and I lost it straight away. What an idiot. Ooh. Right, what do those ones do? Nothing. So I could have just jumped on those. I was scared it was going to do something. I was scared it was going to just drop those light grey ones. But no, those light grey ones would have been okay. It's being kind to me. Maybe. No. So I can... Ow! Silly thing. That was clumsy. And that was lucky. Come on. There we go. Got some coins. I lost 2 power-ups. Shocking. I can't get up there because I haven't got the fireball. Fab. I'm pretty sure I can jump on them, yeah, it's just calculating it. Oh. Watch this now. Looks a bit lethal, doesn't it? Is it going to drop you on the spike? Yes, right. They'll do it to full sense of security this level, always. Extra life, that. Was it worth it? No. We'll soon see. Oh. When you jump up into the pipes, you've got to press up at the same time. To make it clear that you want to go up. A bit like pressing the lift button. I guess what I was trying to do is get in the lift without pressing the button. Just didn't know where I was going. Oh. I'll get in that earlier then. Okay. Chance to redeem myself. If I quicken... Oh, no. clumsy. But I rang a bell, so I should be pretty close. Oh, this isn't the boss level, I've just realised. It's at the top of Mario. For goodness sake. Give up. I was going to say I'll make it a short one, but then I'm looking at the clock and I've been streaming for what? Oh, okay. My mistake for looking at me. I was going to say, make it an hour tonight. Because it has been a fairly long week of looking at the screen. But I didn't want to leave it, as I didn't want to leave it a fortnight. Not the game. Fortnight between streams, because I try and stick to one a week. At least one a week. I knew it was a mistake doing 3 in a week, because then it's like my brain went, oh, you don't have to do this again for ages now. It's not a chore, it's just... if you do a lot in one go, it doesn't feel like you've not done it, if that makes sense. As if I stick to one a week, then I start going, it's about time for a stream now. So how's the weather been with everybody? I mean, just going to do a random Windows update in the middle of my stream, that'd be quite funny. Because we've been having to clear out the water from our gazebo. If you have a look at my Twitter, you can see. Is it going to stop short of that bell? I'm going to jump just in case. Oh, and I missed it! But yeah, you can see photos in there. And we've basically, thanks to the weather, replaced our gazebo with an outdoor swimming pool. And I swear our garden never used to pool water that badly. Oh. That mushroom's gone, isn't it? That wasn't fast enough. It's gone running off. For LEGO fans, look, there you go. Got a LEGO level. And spiky lethal LEGO, which is all LEGO if you step on it, but not lethal necessarily, actually. Ah! You don't normally have missiles flying at you when you when you got LEGO. I'm gonna stay in here because I can't avoid that mushroom. N and B, what's that stand for then, do you think? It's a little quiz question. I don't know what that stands for. Do I have to, like, jump on this and somehow avoid those? Yes, I guess is the answer. N and B. It is N and B. Okay. So that was a bit of a dead end. They're just going to keep coming down, aren't they? Well, there are only 2. Come on, give me a chance, Mario. Ugh. We've passed the nostalgia novelty point now, and we're just like, oh, come on, let's get to the end. Let's at least get one level. Look what I'm doing now. Oh. Different coloured pigs firing cannonballs. And you can jump on the cannonballs, I didn't realise you could. Alright, okay. Yes, it is, Liam the Bemused. Oops, I shouldn't have read the chat. Well, no, I should have read the chat. Cheers for joining me. I don't blame you, I blame myself. Yep, it is Lego Jump It. Lego? No, it's Mario. Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy, or at least on a Game Boy emulator, though I do own the real game and a real Game Boy somewhere in the attic, so I really need to rescue it at some point soon, because I've only just realised that the save games didn't happen by magic. I didn't really believe they happened by magic, but I mean, I didn't know how they worked. Or I thought maybe there's a little rechargeable battery in the cartridge somehow, and that's how it did it, or some sort of... Oh, here we go, boss level. What do I do? Can I jump on you when you're doing that? Yes. Oh, and then you just get faster. Oh, great. This is how it's going to be then. Oh, and I just lost the... Right, so I can't be anywhere near it when it moves. Fab. This is insane! How did I ever play this in the car? Blinking heck. Ah. I need a break from that. How you doing, Liam? You okay? So basically, I'd have lost anyway. Distracted or not there. Might have a better chance if I can survive with more power-ups though. So we now know the big boss level is beyond that tube. Oh! Multitasking just now, Liam saying. Yeah, power-ups are always good, and I just lost one again by jumping into something clumsily. Oh. This is gonna go well then. Oh. So, what are you multitasking on at the moment? Are you doing like me, watching two streams at the same time? That's always fun. What are you up to at the moment, if you don't mind me asking? Don't have to say, but you can say, or say vaguely. If you prefer or need to. Oh, what's that? Bag of money. That's not going to help me in the level at all. Yeah, in the boss level. Right, let's try not to be clumsy this time. He jumped higher than I'm sure he did. No power-ups. Alright. Liam's watching me and watching some Archer. I keep meaning to get into Archer. My sister watches it. I've not got into it. I used to always wind her up by saying, oh... I'm in the wrong place. Oh, here he goes. I always used to wind her up by saying, oh yeah, I love Star Trek Enterprise. That was probably her reaction to that, actually. Yeah. What's that? Well, that's Captain Archer. That's what you mean, right? No, I know what you mean. No, it's just one of those things again. I don't know why. It's just passed me by. No good reason. Just has. Yeah, I know. I'm a master of terrible puns. In fact, when I was in the uni doing a postgrad, our office came up with... Oh, because we were all coming up with such terrible puns. Just getting worse and worse and worse. So they made what they called a punishment t-shirt. Punishment t-shirt. Which, so basically the person in the office who came up with the worst pun that day had to wear the punishment t-shirt. But, yeah, if someone else came up with the worst pun, then they'd get the punishment t-shirt. Right, out the way, out the way! Oh, that was good. That was lucky. Right, so if I can keep my power up just a little bit longer. Oh, no. This is insane. Well, what's this next guy gonna do? I'm gonna change the stream title to "Can I get six golden coins? Can I get 0 golden coins?" But I've got one continue, I think. Oh, no, it's in 5. What's going on? I can't have got 5 continues. 5 lives. I don't know what's going on here exactly, but somehow I've got a second chance. So okay, let's. Right, we got further than last time. We kept the Super Mario power up a little bit longer. Say we, I'm the only one here. Me and Mario, I suppose. Yeah, well, no, sorry. The M's here as well. I just mean I'm the only one here actually playing it. Hey, he says, hey, don't look a second chance in the mouth, yeah. Very good. Have the punishment t-shirt, put it on. That's not a pun, technically. So, re-expression of a joke. Sometimes we'd get the punishment t-shirt for non-puns, though. Oh, come on. Right, and this time I'm going to try and concentrate properly. Hasn't helped me the other 7 times I've done this. I haven't been keeping count exactly. However many times it is. Right, okay. Right, shorter jumps, that might help. That is helping. Oh, it was. Okay, gotta concentrate now. More, I should say. Should already have been concentrating. But they just get insanely fast. Here we go. Oh, it's like being on a fairground ride. Where they sort of... weird fairground ride, mind it would be if they were just bouncing pigs, but okay. I just meant in terms of it getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and going at ridiculous speed without me pressing the spacebar like I did last time I was on the Game Boy emulator. I was playing Balloon Kid and I had 9 lives. And within about 2.3 seconds I had 0 lives because I had the keyboard out. I'm playing on the controller now, obviously, but I had the keyboard out. And I accidentally knocked the spacebar. And there's a VOD somewhere below showing me just going, ah! Ah! Looking kind of gormless. Yeah. New world record for lives. I'm sure it is a record. I just literally watched the character just be pushed off the screen like 9 times in a row, and I was just going, what? I thought the computer crashed horribly, but no, it's just because I pressed the spacebar and it makes it go at, it's a 10,000 times speed. I think it's like 1,000 times speed. Right. That's the problem. You've got to kind of get him in the middle, because if you wait till he gets to the edge, you kind of only jumping to avoid him. Ah, I'm mistiming it. I'm trying to convince myself that we're getting closer. I don't know if that's just optimism. I think it might be. Trying not to get caught by the Bond, James Bond style chainsaws coming through there. Hey, if nothing else, the music's been good. If I'm rubbish at the game, doesn't matter, the music's good. Right, come on, we're good. Let's get into the zone. Got plenty of time. Plenty of time. The only time limit is the pig thing. Oh, get over that. Oh. not going to get out the way quick enough. Oh, that was luck again. Right, he's going to jump left. Oh, okay, but we're still in with a chance. No, we're not. So you can't get him when he's up. I know, that was close, wasn't it? Saying damn so close, yeah. But yeah, okay, that means I am getting better. I'm getting better. But what I don't know is if I go back to those A, B and C pipes that you saw at the start, will it just keep letting me have a go at this? I could save game, but that's... It's not cheating, necessarily, it's just I wouldn't have been able to save games in the same way on the original. I did it for Balloon Kid because I hadn't played it in ages and I wanted to see the variety of levels and things, but in this one it's not so difficult to see the variety because you can go around the map and pick any level you want, so... Guess there's that. Right, okay. Let's do this. I got Liam chivying me on now. Come on. So I think what I've learnt is I've got to keep the... Cheers. You can do it! I've got to keep the Super Mario till at least the end of the second pig. That... No! No! Well, that's it then, isn't it? Oh. How are you meant to get above him to... Like that, I guess. Come on. Oh, that was even closer. I only did 2 more hits. Okay, more chivying, Liam. Come on. Oh, I thought for extra style I could have got caught out by the chainsaw thing then. We got so close, we did. Literally within 2 hits. 2 hits out of 9. If you count, it's three pigs. 3 hits each. I was 7/9 of the way to winning that. Okay, last chance, unless it gives me another continue. Got my game face on now. Oh no! It's not a good sign. But we're still in the game. Oh, come on! Okay, well, we'll get to see what the pipes do. Yeah. I know. Game over. 0 golden coins again. I know. Okay, we've got to continue. Yeah, it is pretty hard, isn't it, Liam saying it seems hard. I don't know how I played this as a kid. I honestly don't. Especially, as I said, most of the time I was playing the Game Boy was in the back of a car for long journeys. I'm sure that's a lot of people's experience, but what I mean is, it was predominantly long journeys in the car. I did play it at home occasionally, but I had a computer at home, so I mean, it wasn't the fastest computer in the world, and we didn't have broadband and everything. It was dial-up internet, and, you know, let's see. Well, I didn't even have internet, actually, back... I'm forgetting how young the internet still is. That makes me feel younger. And when did I have my Game Boy? I don't know. Oh! Oh, that was just clumsy. No, that was just I hit my peak, and now it's just... That was absolutely terrible. It's because I was reminiscing, isn't it, about Game Boy. But, yeah, how I played this in the car, I have no idea. And as I said, apologies if this is a repeat for you, if you've heard me talking about this on a previous stream, but I had the Game Boy magnifier that clipped onto the Game Boy, and it had a little light in it, but mine was not completely functional from the start, and so instead of having 2 light bulbs, and they were light bulbs, not LEDs, illuminating the screen, they'd been LEDs, I wouldn't have had any problem seeing the screen. And I've seen all sorts of, retrofits online of old Game Boys. Yeah, oh, I'm glad. Liam remembers the magnifier. He says, oh man, the nostalgia of that magnifier. Yeah, but it was meant to have 2 lights in it. Mine had 1 working light. So, rather than seeing what you can see now in glorious even brightness, I knew I was going to lose that. I had, like, say, a third of the screen in a murky yellow, and given that the screen was already a murky green to start with, and the car was moving. So, oh, come on. Liam saying, I'm so glad handheld devices have lights in them now. Yeah, you just take it for granted now. I used to do a bit of supply teaching, and I used to always enjoy sort of... I'd be telling the truth, but telling tales of how technology was, and kids just look at you and just go, what? Why would you... Well, the highlight was covering an art class, and I was anyway. It's years since I've done it. I was a science teacher, and got assigned to do supply teaching cover for an art class. I mean, supply teaching, you just end up getting sent to school and you're covering. To be fair, I didn't mind. I was up for anything. Did a cooking lesson at one time, and I'm rubbish at cooking. But yeah, the art class, or a class of year 7s coming into the room and just going, what's that, sir? They were wowed. They were genuinely wowed by this piece of technology that they could see. Do you know what it was? It was an overhead projector. Like the ones that you put transparencies on. Because, of course, you get to a certain point and you've just not seen these things. I do get it. I used to talk about the video recorders and saying, you couldn't leave your video recorder, you couldn't leave the tape in the wrong place because you'd end up finding half of the program you wanted to watch was taped over if the timer record kicked in. And I remember people just telling me, well, why would you design something like that? It's just like, well, because it made sense at the time. Tape players were just what you had. Now people are so used to Sky Plus and Sky Q and all that or Freeview Plus, so other brands are available. People are just so used to it. You just take it for granted, and I take it for granted a lot. And yeah, backlit screen. It's pretty much impossible to have a colour screen without a backlight. I know, rare examples did exist, and I recommend Tech Moan on YouTube. I love watching all these bits of retro tech because I'd consider myself a technophile. But there's loads of tech that passed me by, even though I thought I was a technophile. And there are sort of all sorts of weird... Remember that game that was like binoculars and you had to point it to the sunlight to see it the best? Because the light sort of shone through the panel on the top. I'm going to sound crazy now to anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, but it was like binoculars and it was like an LCD game, but the light shone through it, so when you looked through the binoculars, it's quite a good visual effect, to be fair. And the buttons are all on top and things. It's like early virtual reality. But you had similar ideas with sort of portable TVs. They had like a panel, like a white plastic diffuser thing on the top, and you could point it at the sunlight and it would shine through the screen. So you did have colour LCDs without backlights for a very short time, but then it became practically unheard of. You just to make a colour LCD work, you have to have a backlight, really. I mean, I remember having... Oh, that was clumsy. I remember having the Palm Top had a transflective screen, thinking about it. Had a PDA at one point, Palm Top, Pocket PC, whatever it was called. Ow! And that was transflective, so it did have a backlight, though. But you could use it in not necessarily bright sunlight, but you could use it in light that which you wouldn't have got away with most LCD panels at the time. I mean, you know, most laptops now you can't get away with it in. Oh, I've lost now. You can't get away with it in super bright sunlight, but you can sort of see it in medium light, whereas LCDs back then, you just couldn't see a thing. If there was anything more than the dim room light where you were. Liam saying that sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, it was like a shark attack thing or something I remember I had. There were probably different varieties. But it was the same sort of basic LCD. It's just they've been very clever with the, you know, it was clever that, you know, using technology that you had. You could only have certain positions the sharks could be in, and you had to avoid it. It was like the racing games, the same. You know, that like 3 positions the car could be in. You had to avoid the other cars. Now let's see if that's. It's gonna just let me repeat this over and over again for my sins. Liam saying I used to love the wheels that had pictures of. Oh yeah, I remember those. I've got to get half this stuff out of the attic. I got some of those. The wheels that had pictures of stuff like shows, and you'd look through and you could see the frames of the shows. Yeah. And they were like little binoculars, weren't they? A little binocular that you put the disc into the top, and it sort of clicked down, and then you had a little. I won't say a shutter button because it was, you know, it's more like a lever. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I remember those, and you'd click it, and it would advance to the next slide. So it's like your own little personal slide projector. But because that's what's clever about it, wasn't it? Because they were discs rather than just like a slide of film that went through, or individual slides. You know, it was binoculars. So you had binoculars. I got plenty of time. Giving myself a break before I lose again. I got 230 seconds before I have to face them. Yeah, they were fantastic. Power Ranger ones you had. I remember having obscure ones that I didn't even know what they were. Like Chips, I didn't know at the time what that was, but you know, obscure American TV series. I think it's whatever was in the bargain basket or the charity shop or whatever. But I can't remember. I think there were some Disney ones in there possibly. I'm not sure. But yeah, because they were binocular, because it was a disc, the slides were aligned around the outside of the disc, and the slides on opposite sides were actually stereoscopic, so yeah, one for the left eye, one for the right eye. So not only was it your own personal slide projector, but it was in 3D as well. Come on. Right, it's because I'm trying to approach the pigs from the imagine this out of context. It's because I'm trying to approach the pigs from the same angle as I did the first two, and I need to gain height. So I need to be a bit more careful. Think about my strategy. Oh, not do that. There we are, that's a clip for later. Motivational speaking gets you shrunk. Gets you Super Mario shrunk before the big boss level. So, need to gain height. These ones not so much, because you just need to get away quickly enough. But he goes that way at least, gives you half a chance. Now I haven't got a chance, because he's got too fast. Can't double jump. Right, let's try not to lose the Super Mario this time. Are there hidden blocks in this level or something that I'm meant to get that I don't know about? I don't want to spend the whole level just jumping up in mid-air, just hoping there's an invisible block there. You do get them sometimes, like those question mark blocks. Like there, but there isn't one, obviously. How does he sometimes jump so high? Oh, because I'm doing up at the same time, maybe. I don't know. Let's get the mushroom. I'm calling them mushrooms now, they're not mushrooms. Are they? I don't know. Start to lose it now, right. Massive deja vu. Now we need to look like I always used to be told. Go where you're looking. Oh, look where you're going instead of go where you're looking, rather. And that's what I'm not doing. See, he jumped really high then. How's he jumping so blinking high suddenly out of nowhere? And I'm not talking about when he's bouncing off the pig there. I'm talking about he's just suddenly going high. Ah, see? No, I should have gone under. But yeah, I mean, I know all these technical products came out then later, and again, if you watch Tecmo and things like that, Technology Connections I'm a big fan of as well. But Tecmo in particular, for, you know, he'll take the plunge and go on random Chinese auction sites. Well, they're not random Chinese auction sites. They're Chinese auction sites with random items on them, I should say. They're very reputable sites. It just mean that he will take a punt on just these things that were only available for a short time. And so they were kind of a flash in the pan in the UK, if they came out at all in the UK. So the one I was watching last time was one where you could get mini DVDs and watch them on a 3-inch screen. But again, these things were so expensive that they were just beyond the realms of anything I could have afforded at the time, definitely. So those picture discs were, you know, the only real way to do things like that, weren't they? I don't know if it's for a generation, but for a certain age range in our youth, yeah, it was the only way to do that. And now we can just get YouTube on our phones. It's, you know, wherever we go. I remember when 3 first came out, the phone companies are available, but I remember when 3 were first demonstrating, you know, video on the mobile phones, and you could only do it through the 3 network, because 3... I'm not sure if monopoly is the right word. They were just the only company doing it, so I suppose by definition they had the monopoly on 3G, but yeah, you know, it was a unique thing, a video on phone, but again, I couldn't afford the data plan that meant you got unlimited video, so I didn't really use that. Used a bit of internet, maybe. Whoa! Oh, come on! That was just random hit and hope then. Okay, I'm gonna take my eye off the chat a second. Because I want to do this time. Come on, come on. Right. And, oh! Okay. I don't know if taking my eye off the chat helped at all there. The weirdest tech, Liam saying, were the mini DVDs. That's weird that I just started talking about mini DVD. And then you posted that, I'm guessing, before you heard me say about the mini DVD. So... our minds were going in the same direction there, just by pure coincidence. Yeah, the mini DVDs you could get for the PSP, yeah. Do you remember any films that came out on that? Because that was going to be a big thing. Again, one of those things that seems like it's going to take off and then just ends up being a flash in the pan. I thought that had a big success, actually. Big possibility of success, because, you know, portable... well, I remember when they came out with TVs for the Game Gear. Couldn't afford a Game Gear. But, and I kept wishing they'd bring them out for the Game Boy. But, yeah, there's a little portable TV cartridge you could get for the Game Gear. Of course, it wouldn't work now because there's no analog TV anymore, not in the UK anyway. That's what's sad. I've got a portable TV my uncle gave me years ago. This is decades ago now. But, oh, that was close. Liam said, I think some of the X-Men movies were on their Transformers as well. Yeah, I forget how far back those movies were. I mean, I'm the same as Star Trek as well. It's like, you know, I look at the copyright in the bottom and it's like copyright 1996. And I just go, what? And I think 1996 was 4 years ago, wasn't it? No. More like 24 years ago. Oh, gosh. You've normally got a grace period when you get the mushroom. you can sort of not lose it straight away like that. Never mind. If I win as not Super Mario, that's harder than winning Super Mario. Come on. So it's worth giving it my effort. No emulator, don't slow down. Throw my timing off. Yeah, I'm just finding another excuse for why I'm rubbish. Again, lousy excuse. Blaming the tools, but I'm just going to move that window more central, so I'm looking straight on at it. It is not the reason, but I'm going to use that excuse. Sorry, when I say, I'm obviously the Game Boy screen I'm showing you hasn't moved, but the Game Boy screen I'm looking at has. I can guarantee it make no difference at all. It's just... yeah. Yeah, PSP I thought was going to be like the next Game Gear. I thought it was going to last a lot longer. This is a pretty capable handheld from what I remember. I didn't have one, but it's probably the first one I was tempted to buy, you know, if I could have afforded one. Next to that would have been Game Gear. I really wanted a Game Gear. I mean, part of me thinks as well now, I could actually go on eBay and get these things probably for cheap and maybe fix them up. Ow! Oh. Yeah, I told you it would make no difference. Let's move it back to where it was then. That wasn't the reason. Shall I find another excuse? Okay, let's look at the actual Game Boy. Let's pretend I'm playing it on the... I'm looking at my stream screen now. No, that's worse. Now I can't see. Because that's for your benefit, not me. Alright, let's just do it. Let's just do a level on my stream screen. So I'm getting it delayed by a fraction of a second, not much, through my OBS preview. Which should make me worse, not better. Liam's saying I got my PSP pretty late, but I enjoyed all the games I've got on it. Yeah, I mean, things have changed now as well, because you can download so much. I mean, when I got my Game Boy, those were the games I had with it. I mean, I got the odd game as a present. I don't think I even ever bought my own games for it. I just got... It became the... You know... It became the, because we know you've got a Game Boy present, the presents ended up being Game Boy cartridges. No, okay, that made no difference at all. It made it worse, as predicted. So yeah, and those were the games I had then. Whereas now, if you want a new game, you can download it. There's so much available for free on the PC. You know, well, you know, to an extent on consoles as well. It depends what console it is. And games are still expensive. You know, the leading games are still expensive. But I mean, I saw a game the other day that I'm tempted to buy because it's on offer for £3 at the moment. So, you know, a game that's normally nearer £20. So, you just don't seem to be stuck in the same way as you were before. You know, if you've got no money and you're lucky enough to already have a computer, you can just download, you know, you can download indie games and things. Yeah, Liam saying £3 is a steal. Yeah, it is. Of course, the game in question is Euro Truck Simulator 2, which I've seen lots of people playing. And so that's part of the reason I'm tempted to get it as well. But I probably wouldn't have bought it if it had... Well, I haven't bought it yet. And there's a time limit on that discount, so I better buy it soon. But yeah, it's £3 on... I think it was on Humble Bundle, so... Which a friend recommended to me, so yeah, it's quite interesting. Since I started... Well, since I said on social media that I was thinking of getting into streaming. A load of friends got in touch who aren't streamers and have never been streamers and potentially not really interested in streaming necessarily. I don't know whether they watch streams, but they've all kind of, if I say come out of the woodwork, that sounds unfair because it sounds like that we've never spoken or anything. I just mean that a load of friends, some of whom I just didn't even know were into games and things, just coming out with recommendations. So it's been great. So go onto this site and you can get bundles, and go onto this site and get indie releases and abandonware and retro games and things. So I'm shouting over that, so turn it down a little bit. Game audio isn't too loud for you listening, is it, Liam? I reasoned it was then because I was shouting over it, but okay, come on. I try not to say things like I feel this is the one, because that almost certainly means it's not. Right, I'm going to go over this side. Good, he didn't follow me. Right, height. No, don't jump at the same time. Oh dear, Liam's saying that's really nice. Yeah, it is. I had someone in work ask me to advertise a petition she wanted people to sign. Yeah, yes. It's good when things something like that. I haven't quite managed anything like that, but I did a charity comedy night once. At Comedy Lopez on so literally the words comedy and Lopez, Lopez, on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube, I think. Yeah, it's the same on there. So he was running some comedy workshops and they were raising money for cancer research, and I've lost again. And so then when I went into work, I made a little stand, said I'm doing this charity show, you support me, we're doing free training. It's like, oh. But then you get all the jokes as well. Then you get to learn very quickly what it's like to be a comedian in a completely controlled, and I was going to lose that anyway, in a completely controlled, isolated, friendly bubble, compared to what most comedians have had to go through with rough gigs and tough audiences and heckles and all that. But yeah, what I mean is in work you start getting people then starting to say, oh yeah, you're funny, are you? Then tell me a joke then. And that's what comedians get all the time. It must be really irritating because I'm not a naturally funny person. But again, that's what they said to us in the workshops as well. That's what Ignacio was saying to us in the workshops was... I'm trying not to paraphrase him badly now because it's going to make him sound like he gave advice that he didn't or gave terrible advice. So let's get the phrasing right. But it was like the gist of it was about not trying to be funny. That it's like the jokes you tell your mates down the pub might make them laugh. That's not necessarily comedy. I'm not saying there's nobody who tells jokes in the pub that isn't also funny. Obviously it's going to happen at some point. That so someone's just naturally coming up with brilliant jokes, but yeah, so it's like, don't do that. And I think what he was trying to discourage as well is the type of any crude jokes or anything like that. So he was saying, don't come into this thinking I'll just tell those sort of, oh gosh, I'm never going to get past this, am I? I got him once. But yeah, I recommend going and comedysheep.com. Giving you loads of free publicity here, Iggy. Oh, and he said in the last show he doesn't like being called Iggy. Oops, I've called him that all the time we've been growing up because we went to school together and everything. But and used to work at festivals and things. Not comedy festivals, music festivals, music festival. Our hometown one. But yeah, he this is multitasking failing now. he's been putting on these online comedy shows, is what I was trying to get to. And we watched one last night, actually. So, really great lineup. And that's what he's been saying as well, that, obviously, no one's trying to say that we all wish that lockdown didn't have to happen, for the reasons it has had to happen. However, it's led to people managing to do some brilliant things in the situation. And he said, I managed to book a lineup for this comedy gig. Oh dear. Yeah, hi Roop, by the way. It's just so you pop in. He's managed to book a lineup that he could never have really booked for a real venue anywhere, because they're all in such different parts of the country and around the world indeed. So some really good things have come of it, but it is very strange though. But yeah, I mean, what he did was give us a very, very safe bubble to try this out in a really friendly audience. And told them all, if you're going to heckle anyone, heckle me. Don't heckle the acts, because they're all here to raise money for a good cause, and they're not comedians. Some people may have done it with aspirations to become comedians, but I didn't necessarily. I had to go. It was just one of those things that came up one day on my phone randomly, and I just said yes. So that's my advice. Go for it. Yeah, do it. Liam saying I could never do stand-up comedy. I work better with other people in physical humour. Yeah. I never thought I could do it. It's not something that I've now decided, is going to be my career or anything. It's just it's 5 minutes every 6 months at an open mic. But in fact, that's how I started my last set at the local open mic, which also went online. I said I call myself the Comet of Comedy, not because I am a wondrous sight that causes people to gaze up. I've messed up my own joke. I've messed up the level. Not because I'm a rare and beautiful sight that makes people gaze up in wonder at me, something like that, but because I turn up out of the blue and then the next time you see me might not be for several hundred years, because that's what I would like. This open mic comedy night, I wanted to support it for ages. Made it to very few, unfortunately, and the venue it was in closed. It carried on going somewhere else. I never made it to any of those. So, like I say, I know a few of the people there, and they don't mind that I only rock up every couple of months, at best. Because, life happens, doesn't it? Can't help it. It used to be on a Wednesday night, and I was in uni on a Wednesday night, so for a long time that was the reason. But yeah, they moved online, and I still didn't manage to get there very often, so it's like, okay. So you need a new excuse, but as I say, not going to be a career. Not least because I should probably take a dance site more seriously out of respect to all the other people who are trying to make a career of it. And if I just... Hey, I got one. Okay. Oh, see, I can't get above. This is frustrating. Roop saying, notice I changed my name. Yeah, I noticed you dropped a bit off the end there. But I was watching the stream back earlier. You still got Izzy Gaming name though. You're like me with different names on Twitter. Oh, I've got a different name on Instagram than I've got on Twitter, and I haven't got a name at all on YouTube actually, because I need 100 subscribers. That sounded very trite. I'm not in a rush to get subscribers. It's not that. It's just that it would be nice to hit 100 just so that I can get a unique username. They used to give them out for free, YouTube. You could get any name you like. So I've got like an old legacy account, which has got, I think it's youtube.com/c/Nemethsphere or something like that. I don't know. So that's old. I haven't used that in years. And oh no, it's /user/Nemethsphere, and that's why I haven't used it in years, because it's not in the new format. I don't know. But now you've got to have at least 100 subscribers to get a name. Roop's going to change the name on Twitter and stuff. Am I using the camera to record the game? Does it look that convincing? I'm pretty chuffed with that. No, that's a free PNG of a Game Boy that I found online. And it was free, not just that I got it for free, although you could argue, I mean, I suppose they couldn't really charge for it, because if you charge for it, then they're making money off Nintendo's IP, I suppose. Yeah, free PNG I got off the internet. But I will take a photo. If I can find my Game Boy from the attic, I'm going to replace it with my own photo, because that I feel easier about and happier about, and it would be higher resolution as well. But yeah, I just got that in OBS with and handily they'd already cut out the screen, so the PNG's got a transparent bit where the screen is, so I've just put the emulator into there using RetroArch, and then okay, I can explain it properly now. I've lost. And then I lost at the same point, whether I was talking or not. There, don't worry. And I just put a green. I got the actual green from a picture of a Game Boy and used that as a sort of square in the background. And then what's I doing? Alpha blend, alpha multiply. Probably boring everybody now. Well, not everybody. You wanted to know, I'm guessing. But sorry, Liam. going off on one on tech stuff. OBS tech stuff. Actually, not necessarily. Sorry, you might want to do it as well. So yeah, I was inspired by watching people play Game Boy emulators on the Switch. And oh no, I didn't want that. Exit. No. Now. If I reset. What's it? Select start? No. Oh. Fine. That's not what I wanted. Oh well. I guess we'll have to carry on then. I went down the wrong pipe, basically. It's good to have a break from that level, I suppose. Roop saying, I just felt that Roop was more to the point and stands out. Yeah. I mean, as you can tell, I just went with my name. I should have come up with a name, really, a streaming name, and especially because now everybody knows how terrible I am at FPS games, because I've just used my name on there as well. So maybe I should have used like a. I mean, you have used your name as well, but I mean, I've used my full name. But it's one of those things where you don't have to, and I understand why people wouldn't use their full name. However, now my name's already kind of out there. I'm not famous or anything, but it's already out there so much that it's like I'm on that tipping point between it's actually more advantageous to me to have my name out there and have it consistent with everything else. But, yeah. Let's try a different level then for variety. Let's try the tree one. With new enemies that I can be really terrible against. Oh, weird things like that just pop out. Liam saying, I went with my Twitter name because everything was under the same name, so just felt easier from that perspective. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes far more sense for it all to be the same, and indeed, it's good advice to have them all the same. I just couldn't. The reason I couldn't have... Oh, see, there's one of those hidden blocks I was talking about, which knocked me underground, but there we are. What else have we got up there? Just that? Alright, okay. Mystery to it. Yeah, it's good to have them all the same. The reason I couldn't have my Instagram the same is just because there's another Jamie Nemeth who isn't using their account at all. So it's quite frustrating. must be another block I'm missing. Another invisible block. There. I'm just not jumping properly. Leave me in a wild goose chase up there and then just not let me get the block. Oh, there we go. I was just being not very coordinated. Oh, Roop, I meant to say as well, I took your tip on board actually. You know, last time I was saying, oh no, I'm not going to put the retro tag because the game is actually Balloon Kids. So no, I thought of doing it, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I didn't realise that you meant the tag. So this time I put the retro tag in. You meant the tag, not the actual game title. Oops. So, sorry for that. I'll put it down to multitasking terribly and I wasn't meaning to ignore good advice or anything. Just that I didn't know what I was talking about. Oh, that's going to be very slow if I do it like that. Ooh, and another one. Right, so when you don't need Fireball Mario, you get 3. Of course. Standard, like buses. Right. Well, I said it was going to be an hour. Where are we at? 1 hour 37. See, this is what always happens. Oh. Ah! Ah! That was a close one. I know I'm invincible, but because I'm holding down the run button. There we go. Didn't realise I got points for that. There we go. And if you ring the bell, you get a bonus round. Yeah, every time I say, oh, it's just going to be a short stream tonight, never is. What have we got? Oh, of course. Just what I need. Fireball Mario. Oh, it's a bit weird. Ooh, fireballs look cool in the dark, though. This is weird. It's like sort of tree... What do you call it? Resin? That you can kind of jump through like jelly. Oh! Yeah, I bet it has. What is wrong with this? Are they just... Is this one of those weird sort of coding bugs, do you think? Or is it just because that's the highest power-up available? So it just keeps giving it to me because I'm already on it. So if I didn't have it, I'd get the Super Mario. Gotta be careful around those, because if I jump up too high, then when I come out of the tree resin, got too much momentum, I go into spike. And then I won't be laughing at the fact I've got like 4 or 5 Fireball Marios in a row. Oh, and those are impervious to fireballs. Okay, fine. Oh, that's what I should mention. There we go. I'm getting better at this. Actually, maybe I should wait till Mario's safe first. But yeah, if you scroll down, and or depending on how you're watching this, if you're watching it in full screen, scroll down on my profile, there's a link to the Discord, which is not very active at the moment, so I've just skewered my own promotion of it. But trying to start one off, just to, oh, see, shouldn't have mentioned the Discord. That'll learn me. All coming back to me now. But yeah, it'd be good to get stuff. I've tried to sort of started off as a collection of useful tips for newbie streamers. Now it's Roop's in the chat. No, I haven't recreated Twitch beans. Oh, well, that was bound to happen. I just mean that there were like things that I found along the way, and I just thought I'll just put them as links in the Discord, and then I'll get to learn how Discord works as well, because I didn't know anything about how it worked at all. You know, I mean, I joined a couple of YouTube channel people on Patreon to support them, and they said we got a Discord. Wasn't interested because I didn't know what Discord was, and I get a bit like this with TV series as well. Well, like with Archer, like we were talking about earlier. It's not that I'm not interested in them. It's just that if I know something, well, in the case of Archer, I've missed pretty much the entirety of it, apart from a couple of episodes I've watched with my sister. If I know that... Oh, you're kidding. Oh, come on. I can't get it. Can I get it? Like, just like nudge. Yeah, if like there's some brilliant series I've seen. It's just like if I know that I've missed a load of episodes, I want to watch it from the start. So it's not that I don't want to watch it, it's just I want to watch it from the start. I don't want to catch it midway through. Ironically, if I knew I was probably going to find something rubbish, then I would watch it midway through because it didn't really matter. But... Oh, gosh. That's not probably like the oldest trick in the book. There's a Mario developer out there somewhere watching back this VOD going, still catching people out. But yeah, with Discord as well, it was like, no, not another social media thing. No. Already got too many on the go. Not interested. But it's not like any of the others, is it, at all? It's really good. I likened it to being a sort of hark back to the days of IRC, Internet Relay Chat and stuff, and Yahoo Chat. I remember being on and stuff, you know. Yahoo Chat was notable because it had... First one I remember having voice chat on it. Oh! Sorry, I just heard something move behind me then. I don't know if it's a box sliding around. Because... I moved some... the delivery boxes around. Oh, that was just clumsy. That was also clumsy. Out the top, then out. Right, okay. Yeah, certainly much easier to build a community on Discord than it is on a lot of other social medias. I mean, granted, people have got to be able to find it. That's why I say build a community, not necessarily build a high number of followers. I actually did feel like when I was talking on Discord, at least I've got that life back. Right, slow and steady. Can I go down there? Should I go down there? No, okay, can't. Oh, I got to the end of the level. Whew. Liam saying I finally felt brave enough to post about my Discord today. Ah, cool. Yeah, I've only just started saying it. The links are all down there, and I had to just tell myself, you know, you should be doing the same as other people are doing. You should be saying, oh, by the way, down below, if you would like to get involved, keep in touch, keep up to date about when my next stream is. I think the reason I didn't do that, though, is because the streams have been sort of a bit ad hoc at the moment. So, again, good advice is you get a schedule going. I'm not saying it's not good advice, but it only applies if it's possible for you do a schedule. If it's not, don't don't break your back trying to stick to something that. Oh great, they're impervious to fireballs, so it wasn't necessarily the best thing to get them. I'm sure they've got them straight out of Sonic as well. So you can jump on them, but I've lost my fireball. It wasn't doing me much good there anyway. But yeah, wasn't looking where I was going, was I? Or I just didn't remember those enemies falling down like that. But no, all I was going to say was feel free to put a link in the chat, because it's not necessarily something to wholesale encourage, but I'm not currently stopping links. Just don't remember doing it. If you post a link and get banned, I apologise. Yeah, if you want to drop a link to your Discord as well, feel free. And then not entirely altruistic. It's partly so I can go and follow it as well. I'll jump in. I did think I was close to the limit of amounts of Discord servers you could have, but then I realised, no, I'm way below half. Although you can have up to 100, and I think I'm on about 34, maybe. Liam saying, yes, the past 2 weeks have been great for my stream because I had 2 weeks off. But when I go back to work, my schedule is going to be all over the place. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's it. It's great for me. I could, in theory, finish work at 5 o'clock. 5:01, I could be streaming. However, that's not really good. I've spent all day looking at the screen, coding. Doesn't matter how well the day's gone, you shouldn't really be looking at the screen for that long in one go. So I've got to take a break, and then I think, okay, well, maybe I'll start at 5:30 then. But then I end up not doing that, and then I end up sort of starting at 6 maybe, and I think, but if I leave it too long, and this is what's really going to give it away, the real rubbish excuse. Then I start thinking, I'll wait till after food, and then Emmerdale's on, and then Coronation Street's on, and then I think, all right, I'll wait till 9 then, and if I wait till 9, well, I managed it tonight just about, 9:30. Then, yeah. I can't get past you. Maybe I can now. I'm Mini Mario. No, I can't. God. Liam saying sometimes I can be working until 8 PM, and after a day like that, I just want to lie down. Yeah. That's the thing, It takes it out of you, no matter how well it's going. Just, being in work mode for a work day takes energy. I'm really grateful for the fact that I can do it from home, because all the energy I would have lost, and I'm not complaining, it's just part and parcel of it, but all the energy and time I lost from commuting, it's back. So I've had a chance to tinker with projects that have been just left by the wayside because I haven't had the time or energy. But yeah, still, I had sort of the energy of novelty propelling me. I meant to say. After a few months, novelty wears off. I'm still a bit of a work from home convert. You're impervious to fireballs as well. Of course you are. The one with the spikes. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Not gonna go down there again. Let's go down there. Oh, I see. You can jump up through that. Liam saying, I haven't watched the soaps in ages. Yeah, It's just what's on. I just fall into a pattern. It's like talking with people who, love Neighbours and things. And I used to love Neighbours when my day used to line up. Oops. Oh, that's very generous. When my day used to line up with Neighbours and Home Away, it was Neighbours and Home Away. But now it's Emmerdale and Coronation Street, and for a while it used to be Doctors. Remember? Doctors, that soap that you always feel sorry for. They have the British Soap Awards because they have amazing storylines, but hardly ever seem to win any awards. And like loads of people are wondering what on earth it's all about. It's like, what's Doctors? Well, if you're having a sick day, then the irony is you get to see a lot more Doctors. It's a daytime soap, isn't it? About 3 in the afternoon, so it's something that you just don't see, you don't realise exists until you end up in this parallel world of being too ill to go to work or go to school and go to college. Ah, good. I'm glad. Liam said I love Doctors. Yeah, that's our dinner watching. Usually, couldn't my mic. Usual pattern now is some Star Trek at 7 p.m. and Sequest at 8. Oh, I used to love Sequest. The only thing that threw me off Sequest was... Have you heard of this thing where they say about jumping the shark? And they made a thing of it in 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, and they said, Johnny, the character Johnny, jumped the shark, literally. Didn't he end up in crutches because he jumped the shark, so it was like a sort of... Lost my power-ups now as well. On the boss level, I had a fireball. Begs the question, will I play better with fireball as in whiskey? I don't know. Well, at least we got that. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Sequest. We were on holiday last year. No, this is Harry Potter. We were on holiday last year and this episode of Sequest came on and I just went, oh yay, Sequest! So I didn't realise the owl had stopped them. And I thought, oh, nostalgia, I haven't seen Sequest in years. Yes, Sequest. And it was the episode where Luke Skywalker took Sequest into an alternate universe. No, that's not a bad pun. I'm not putting the punishment t-shirt on. Genuinely, there was an episode starring Mark Hamill. I mean, obviously he wasn't playing Luke Skywalker, but he was dressed like Luke Skywalker. And then they end up just going into a parallel universe, and I'm just like, what the heck? I'm very forgiving of most sci-fi, but I was just like, wow, you jumped the dolphin there. See what I did then? That was arguably, I don't know if that was a pun, by definition. That was something deserving of wearing a punishment t-shirt at least. Can I? No, I can't spin with the ears on, so I can't get into there. Oh, that'll do. I just want to get the boss level over with now. If this is the boss level. It's at the top with the diamond thing. Oh, Liam hasn't seen the episode of Mark Hamill. No, it's not necessarily a bad episode. It's just that it made me. We were on holiday as well, and I was just like, flip, what was in that beer I had last night? Because I was genuinely thinking, what have I woken up to? What is this? What is going on? Because it was like that sort of that meme, the one that says, you use the Force, Harry. as a quote from Gandalf, and it's got Patrick Stewart. It felt like that, but in an episode of Sequest, and I just couldn't get past it. And it probably wasn't that it was a bad episode at all. It was just. How can I get past that boss level so blinking easily? I got a coin! I got a coin! I got a golden coin, or a grey coin, or a dark green coin. Didn't get gold. Sorry about that. Liam's had a message moderated. I think the auto mod is being a bit too harsh. Let's pause for a moment while we work out why. Tonight's episode. Oh. Okay, it's held your message because there's sexual content in an episode of Sequest. Whoa. Well, am I going to allow that? Yes, I'm going to allow that because it's factual conversation. For goodness sake. Automod being a bit over the top there. Tonight's episode had two weird plots. One was about the Sequest finding a mermaid. The other half was about a teenage party and if they were ready to have sex, complete with giving him a condom scene. Yeah. Okay. So I've completed that tree level. Yay! There we go. Maybe a fresh start is what I needed. Oh! And a fresh start without power-ups as well. Alright, let's try that again. That's better. Bit more coordination. That's worse. Yes, I remember. I remember school pastoral class. Lady came in to us and said, quite often, and I hope this comes across the right way. This is meant as a message for safe sex now. But it said they've got quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of normally males. Well, let me think about that for a second. Given, yeah, of course it's going to be mainly males because they're the ones who use them, though female ones do exist. But yeah, this I just remember this is a memory from school now. So this is when I was, don't know what age, 14 maybe, no idea. Yeah, probably about 14. And said, yeah, quite often we have people saying, oh, I can't wear one because it won't fit me. And she went, well, stretched it out to about 1.5 meters long. And it was like, and just looked at us, gave us like the teacher look and just kind of went, like, so if any of us were, inclined to think that, and remember we were teenagers as well, we were like 14, so it's like, yeah, you've got no excuse. Well, hopefully people wouldn't unless they were of the correct age, but I guess the reality is, you know, the whole point of educating is that I know not everybody likes it. Why? Well, I don't know, but the whole point is that, yeah, it's illegal. It shouldn't be happening, but it does happen, and so better to be safe about it. But yeah, it was quite. It was. It stuck in my mind. Liam saying there was even a scene where one of the sailors had a VR headset for watching X-rated videos. It was just weird. What's weirder is the Automod didn't catch that. You didn't say anything wrong, Liam. It's just that the Automod decided not to ban X-rated videos, but the word CX. No, not allowed that. Yeah, excuse me. So I dropped my squash too fast then. Oh, made sure to word it so Automod wouldn't be mad at you. Yeah, I've just set it. I knew setting it to the highest level would possibly come back on me, but I thought, well, it's better than setting it at the lowest level, because I am quite new to this whole streaming arc, so I'm amazed that I'm even managing to read chat when I play Mario like that. But yeah, I just mean I'm getting used to the whole multitasking. I'm not bothered putting. I've put the follower thing up there. There. No, that's still the wrong angle. Top right corner of the stream, where I can't point to clearly. Right, shall we go back and have another go at that hard level then? With a renewed sense of confidence. Yeah, but I mean, I thought I'd give myself a fighting chance to be able to learn skills on the go without heaping a load of things on myself all at once. Have I started from the start again? This isn't the boss level. Aww. So obviously that's what the continue is. It's like a continue from... start of the level? I don't know. Maybe it's just forgotten. Yeah, I don't think you can do that with that. What was I saying? Yeah, good. I remember now. I was talking about multitasking. What was I saying? Yeah. Well, Rube was watching one of my streams, and I asked him a question. He replied to it immediately. It is the boss level, I've just realised. And I was left racking my brain for a good couple of minutes. Like, what does he mean? And then I had to tell myself, it's a reply to the question you literally just asked. Now. This second. That's how... Right, can I kill the pigs with fireballs? Don't take that out of context. I'm talking about in the context of Super Mario. Oh, it just makes them madder. No, it works. All right. Come on, come on, come on. This feels like cheating after everything else. Oh, no. 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 Was that enough? Yes! That totally was cheating. You know, the firepower isn't the answer to everything. And of course, I don't have 2 coins because I'm in a different pipe because there's A, B, and C save games. But I'm counting that as 2 golden coins. We got 2 golden coins. There's only 1 there because I went down the wrong pipe in the save game and stuff. But that was hard going. That one was hard going. I spent ages on that one. Liam's saying that the auto mod gets a bit crazy sometimes too. On his stream, he used to auto time out people. Well, I haven't told mine to do that, so hopefully it won't do that. Should I learn from this and save? Let's just save the state at least, so that, you know, because to be fair, the cartridge would as well. So this isn't cheating. Again, it's not cheating to save game either, but I'm trying to be authentic and a bit, yeah, as I said, the cartridge would save the state. However, that's also its own problem because I've recently discovered, did I end it? I never got to the end of that story, I don't think. I might have, can't remember. But as I've recently discovered, there are little batteries in these cartridges, which I didn't know about. And so somewhere in the attic, there is an authentic, original Super Mario Land 2 cartridge with a coin cell battery in it, which I've got my fingers crossed isn't leaking all over the inside of the cartridge. Now, the cartridge has its own plastic case, so hopefully it won't leak over anything else if it does, but it would be a horrendous waste of a cartridge. On the other hand, excuse me, opening the cartridge, it's pause it a second. Opening the cartridge to get the battery out might make its value pretty worthless. I don't know. I can't even remember. Do they unscrew Game Boy cartridges, or do you have to like gouge the side out somehow, or use a hot knife or something? I honestly don't know. Wow, I should watch a YouTube tutorial how to open a Game Boy cartridge, maybe. But well, let's go up there. Liam's off to bed, but thank you for the stream. Good luck with the other coins. As for cartridges, I'm sure there are some screws in the back. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Cheers for joining me, and have a good sleep. I probably won't be long after you, actually. It's 11:35. Well, I've saved it. I've gone over 2 hours, and I've let a ghost do that because I wasn't looking. There we go. Right, it's the end. I'll just go back to the save game and pretend that never happened. So, let's go back to there. Because, yeah, I probably shouldn't push things too much. I mean, you know, the temptation is to go, because I've actually booked tomorrow off. Temptation is to go, hey, no work tomorrow. I can stream till 5 a.m. No, it's not going to go very well. It's going to throw my sleep cycle for a start, and yeah, probably going to make me sick of Super Mario. So it's probably good to stop while I quit while I'm ahead, quit while I'm behind. Maybe. Liam saying, "Oh, this is pretty cool." What are we talking about in particular? Just curious now. This background, you mean? I've been working on this for the transition to this and the screen behind you and stuff. Okay. Now, is this like a just because I waffle on about geeky stuff? There's nothing wrong with waffling on about geeky stuff. I'm on Twitch, for goodness sake, so I mean that's fine. I just mean, is this a question where I should say thanks? Yeah, no, I'm really chuffed with it. The end, or are you curious about what went into it and stuff? Because I'm really pleased with. You know, I had a background before, but deleted it now, haven't I? I haven't deleted it off my computer. It's still there somewhere. The transition is just basic. It's in OBS. I didn't actually. Oh, cheers! I didn't actually put in a new transition. I don't think. It's just. Well, it might become a Stream FX. I'm not sure. If you put the Stream FX plugin in OBS, it gives you extra things. I'm not. So where I've got transitions. Watch me accidentally end the stream now. Scene transitions. I've got Luma Clock Wipe. I've added in, so I don't know if so. There's motion. Alright, that I know is a plugin. There's swipe, there's slide, there's stinger, there's fade to color, Luma Wipe, and shader. So this is Luma Clock Wipe. So if I go back to there, Clock Wipe, because it's I just quite like that because I thought, yeah, it's like a time thing. But the background, yeah, I did that in Blender. Didn't know how to use Blender. Still don't. Know how to use a large part of Blender. Blender, the 3D software now. So I did originally have a flat background. Can I put it in without completely messing everything up? Just to show you how to go. So what I started off with basically was a background that I drew flat in a graphics program. Where are we going? Twitch background. Twitch experiment more blur. There we go. It served the purpose. It showed you. Just put it over the top of everything. I'm gonna have to reorder everything to to fix that properly. So I was in front of that basically. So it's fairly similar. And it was sort of my idea of a fantasy room fantasy room sounds grandiose. My fantasy is a plain room with white walls. Yeah. But I thought, no, I saw, I was watching an online festival and there was somebody who'd actually put like final graphics. Let's turn that off a second. Who'd put final graphics on the wall, very much like that. And I thought, well, if I had a real Twitch room, I'd love to do something like that. Then these lights, well, I mean, they're pretty commonplace. Those LED strip things, so I didn't measure them or anything. I could have drawn them to actual scale. The room is to actual scale. The room is 5 meters wide by 3.5 meters deep. I can't remember. But yeah, I just had to go, looked up some tutorials, and the main reason I did it in Blender was because I thought, well, it seems a bit over the top to do it in 3D. I can draw it. I did draw it flat, but what I couldn't do was change the colours so easily. And then when I put those LED lights in, I thought, well, Blender's probably a bit overkill, but I'll try it, just see if I can get on with it at all. And yeah, what's cool about it is that you get the lighting effect, so I can change the colour of those lights if I want to. I'd have to re-render it, so it's not I can't just get a remote control and change them because they're not real. But I can sort of, if I want different themes and I know it's coming up, then I can prepare in advance, change the colours of those, and then it'll calculate all the colours on the ceiling things. And I looked at it at first and I thought, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem physicsy, is what I thought. So I can do that as well. There you go. Been waiting to try that out for weeks. Yeah, I know. Getting all the tips now. Featured chat, that's called. If you go on to, it's free. If you go on to featured, I didn't write it. Featured.chat. That's what you need. The website. Featured.chat. And it lets you do that. Yeah. I've not got any plugins, but then my streams are very low tech. I don't have a green screen or anything. It's just my living room behind me. Although, Arador Tech Tips on Twitter. It's because it's Tech Tips. I wanted to say Twitter. On YouTube, showed a way that is a bit of lateral thinking, and some people might watch it, myself included. The first time I watched it, I thought, why would you want to do that? That seems a bit kind of over the top. But because Skype he was using, and Zoom as well does it, where you can it can take the background. Depends on your computer as well. I had to upgrade my processor for it to be able to do it. I didn't buy a new processor just to be able to do the background in Zoom, but you can do. It'll superimpose the background without a green screen. And so what Arador Tech Tips did was exploit that. So he went into Skype, used the background ability of Skype to subtract the background and replace it with green. Do you see where I'm going here? It took me a while to twig why. It was just like, why? I was thinking, why would you do this? But Skype's got the processing power to be able to take the background you've got, as in literally just your room background. Now I'm talking about your normal room background. I do have a green screen behind me, but that's that's dual purpose. It's because the room background is lots of boxes, like the one that fell just now. And just my excuse is it's too busy and it makes the scene unprofessional. No, the reality is it's just a load of boxes and stacked up that I need to sort out, so I'm hiding it. So it's dual purpose, this green screen. But yeah, where was I? Good at telling a story, and Arador Tech Tips showed you how to use Skype. Use Skype to replace whatever background you've got with a solid green background. Then you screen capture Skype and put it into OBS. And I thought to myself, once I twigged what was going on, I was just like, that's actually not a bad idea. So what he was trying to say to you was, and you're going to lose resolution by doing that because you're screen capturing the preview in Skype. But if you're only a little webcam in the corner, if you're a webcam, if you're only on a little webcam in the corner, yeah, it is very smart. Then you don't need the resolution. I mean, or your other option is, if you've got a second monitor, put Skype Preview full screen, and then you might not get full HD. Well, you might actually, thinking about it. If you've got a higher than HD monitor and you put the Skype Preview on that's a bit of a waste of the monitor, I suppose. But it's it's doable. Just wondering if I can punch it up. This might be beyond. I've shown off all this fancy stuff, and then I'm gonna possibly completely mess up. That one. Oh, there we go. But then I'm gonna want full screen. I'm just trying to see if I can find the video. Just I can show you the effect. So it's Arador, Arador Tech Tips, which he says so confidently and then can't find it. There we go. And that, no. Oh, I was so close as well. No, that's I clicked on the scene, and it's the right. It's almost the right one. Hang on, and then. There we go. We'll get there in the end. That's what I wanted. Close enough. And I was down here. I've obviously messed things about when I've been doing YouTube videos myself, and I've changed things and fudged up my settings. That's how it was before. So how to remove the OBS background? That's it. And I thought, yeah, that's really clever. What process have you got, Liam? That would be my question. Just checking you can still hear me on the stream then. So yeah, I mean, that's the effect you get. Which I think is pretty decent, actually.
Around that kind of size there, and it's perfect. And as you can...
Yeah, I mean, we've been having a bit of a chat in the YouTube comments, myself and Arador, because of the USB capture cards that we bought for, these £10 capture cards. But that's the gist of it, basically. So I recommend. Oh, the stream's vanished. My stream's vanished. Oh yeah, sorry. I can see now the audio's still going through, but the video's flatlined. Oh. The rest of the stream went okay, at least. It could be, maybe it's because I'm trying to watch YouTube and that's thrown the stream. Oh well. That's a shame. Yeah, sorry if you can hear me now. Hello, I'm still here. It's just that the stream seems to have just balked. Let me see if I can fix that. So the audio's coming through and the video's not. And I can knock down the bit rate, but I don't think that's going to help. It's doing weird spikes and things. I think it's because I made the mistake of opening a YouTube video, and it's not liking buffering the YouTube video at the same time as streaming. Am I back now? Yeah. So is that going to happen every time? Well, that's rubbish. It was because I was showing off all the tech, wasn't it? So are you saying now that I can't ever play a YouTube video and stream at the same time? I know I'm only on ADSL, but I thought I could do that. The downstream faster than the upstream. It's playing an advert, no problem. Right, let's try it one more time. I'm gonna cheers for the heads up, Liam. Actually, he said that's a good question. I'll answer that another day because I don't remember. I'll admit, when it comes to tech stuff, I'm a bit of a novice. I call myself a technophilic
Crop.
Luddite. Sorry, talking over each other now. How's the stream? See, now it seems to be streaming fine. Right, okay. Let's give it another go. So this is what I was trying to show. Maybe it was just a blip then. Because it seems to be all fine now. Or maybe now it's buffered the video, it's quite happy. So the idea then that I was trying to show before I was so rudely interrupted is that, yeah, he's got Skype here, and then he's picking a background effect. And so he's got his just normal room background somewhere. Has he? No.
Yes.
No, that's a different video.
A crop and
Which is also a good video.
filter, and we
Where? I thought he showed you his room background. Okay, no, he's not. He's just... Okay. I understand. I mean, I'm not showing you my room background. So the idea is, yeah, basically he's replacing whatever his room background is, which is not a green screen. It's just whatever his room background is, bookshelves or boxes or whatever. And he's replacing that with green to give himself a green screen image. And then he's screen capturing that bit. I've probably explained this already. I'm just showing you visually. But yeah, the effect you get is pretty good, I have to say. You know, it's easily as good, if not better, than what I'm achieving with an actual green screen. So, admittedly, the light's not perfect in here. And I know it's not. But that's okay. But yeah, sorry, I should probably let you get to bed. I'll let myself get to bed. Let's cut off at midnight then. But yeah, if you want to keep following and keep up to date with what's going on, I have started off a Discord, links down below. There's a YouTube as well, and I was talking to Ardor, who is on the screen right now, and we've been having a little bit of a conversation going on in our YouTube thread, because I did a video, where's it gone, on these £10 capture cards that appeared out of nowhere, flooded the market. EPOSVox did a video, that's the first one I saw. Then I did one, other people, I'm not alone by any stretch. I wasn't even second in line, I'm probably like 77th in line, I don't know. But lots of people have been watching my video, which is great. 2,700 views. It's definitely my one-hit wonder on YouTube. That comedy one got 190, so that's not bad. But I'm quite used to my videos having like 3 or 4 views, and I'm quite happy with that. So when that got 2,000 and that flew up past 1,000, I was just like, wow. I mean, I know I've made the title a little bit more clickbaity. It's truthful, but it is a little bit more clickbaity in a sense. I mean, yeah, I've gone for the £10 cam link. I bought a cheap USB HDMI capture card and it works. I knew exactly what I was doing, but it's the first time that I've actually managed to do that, if you like. And it's a one-hit wonder. That's gonna be my one flagship video. But yeah, as I say, I recommend going to see Ardor's video on that, and because I think that's a really good way of doing it. It's a really clever way of doing it. And I was lucky to get, the green screen I've got behind me, I managed to get for about £30. The nearest equivalent that seems to be available now is about £70, which is quite a lot. I wouldn't have paid £70 for this. It's just one that goes on the chair back. And it's quite a loud green, in a sense. I can show you the exact shade of green it is. If I completely fudge up my settings live on stream. So yeah, there we go. I mean, chroma key green should be quite stark. It should be. That's kind of the point. but when I first bought this, I thought, oh, I don't know if that's the right green, and it's quite thin as well. But the advantage of it being thin is it lets light through from the back, so it makes it brighter. Whereas the other green screen I've got a big pop-up green screen, which is way too big to fit in here. This is just about the right size to fit in the width that I've got to put it in. But the green screen I got upstairs, it's the proper chroma key green, but it's made of it's like a cotton screen, and it's dark. It's really dark, because what you're meant to do is then light that screen with relatively powerful lights. I've got these LED strips now that work pretty well, but so it starts darker, and you've got to do a lot of work to light it properly, whereas this starts loud very loud. However, when the lighting's not optimum, it means I'm getting away with worse lighting than I should be able to get away with. I got 2 LED lights here, oh, my hand's gone off camera, here and here, little LED panels with soft boxes. I'll pull one off. There you go. No, I won't, because it's hooked on. So these things are great. Not sure why it's looking speckly. £7 on Amazon, and they fit the little. Let's just put it like that for now. They fit the little like 160 LED panels perfectly. So you don't need an expensive softbox. You don't even need an expensive LED panel, as I was. I haven't watched this video yet. Liam saying interesting. I may have to try that out. But yeah, thanks for that. And I've joined the Discord as well. Cheers. And yeah, it's not. There's only a few of us there at the moment, so I know I'm underselling it by saying join the Discord. There's nobody there yet. But that's not how I mean it. I mean, it's just I've just started it, so but yeah, I'm going to put more of an effort into it. Galavel has done a video on making lighting for like £10 out of what looks like a baking tray and a bit of grease-proof plastic. I haven't actually watched this video yet. I just love. Hang on. Yeah, it's playing YouTube fine now and letting me stream, so it's just a blip. Very odd. I'm intrigued how he's done this. I'm very intrigued how he's done this. Just made his own. Yeah, well, I wasn't far off then, actually. So he's just got one of those like LED. Actually, you can buy these. This has got a proper power pack on it. But I found for £2 in Poundland. I know that used to be an old running joke that everything in Poundland was £1. Now, how much is it? You get to the till, it's £1. I remember when carrier bags were 10p. That threw me completely. It was like, oh my gosh, they need extra buttons on the till. But yeah, for £2. You can essentially get that, but with a USB on the other end. Obviously, then you need a USB power supply or USB charger or whatever. May work off a USB port, may not. Needs 1.2 amps. Standard USB ports, 500 milliamps. Depends. It depends is the answer. But yeah, you could basically do that. The LEDs for £2. And then, what's he done? Just got some foil. And yeah, bit of cardboard backing. I just love this. Let's put it full screen. I just realised it. Yeah. So those LED strips that you can get for sticking around your skirting boards and picture rails and stuff, stuck on foil, bit of cardboard, and there's your Elgato key light. For like £10. What's he put as a filter? I'm curious now. But I just love that there are. Yeah, it is grease-proof paper. Just looks like, and some paint and stuff. So Liam's off to bed for real. Yeah. So am I actually. 11:50. So cheers for joining me. And yeah, I'm definitely going to put these videos in the Discord actually, because as I say, I started off trying to make it a sort of it's not an extensive tutorial or anything like that. It's just what I found along my way. So I'm not I've been doing this for 5 seconds, so I'm not about to turn around and say I'm now an expert in streaming. No, I've literally been doing it 5 minutes. It feels like, but I thought it might be helpful for me to put all the links I found now, because it's great being an experienced streamer looking back and giving people tips. There's nothing wrong with that, and some people are very down to earth, and all the people I've been watching on YouTube are really down to earth and have not forgotten their roots or anything like that. But I'm finding it right now, from day one. I've found sort of current information, as everybody's been saying about cameras have been skyrocketing in price. I found one for 20 quid. It's not a Logitech C920, but it also wasn't price hiked to £150. And it works. It looks fine. It's fine to me. Could I have a better image? Probably. Would it cost me more money? Yes. However, you could use a camera that you got lying around and buy a £10 USB HD capture card. Seeing as I've got my YouTube up, I may as well give this. I'm going to hear myself twice now, aren't I? Recently I made shush. Shut up, Jamie. I'm just after you for your image of the capture card. That, basically. That. £10. eBay. Or Amazon. Or AliExpress. Or wherever you'd prefer to buy it from. Streams in 1080p 30, which one of the commenters said it's not particularly useful because it doesn't do 60 FPS. I'm only streaming in 30 FPS right now, so it's a moot point for me. Yeah, okay, you've got a point. However, it doesn't apply to everybody. If you're only streaming in 1080p 30, it makes no difference. But it's gonna log into my own now, isn't it? Let's try and browse it as if you were you, not me, with random stuff going on. That's the wrong window, isn't it? Stuff it. Right. We are looking for HDMI USB capture card. There is a new kid on the block. Yeah, it looks like that one. I haven't bought one because I feel like it might be a bit of a waste for me to buy it. But this one is... You saw one, there's one for $13.99. This one's $15.99. So they're around, I'm going to call that around £15. Unlike the other one can plug straight into the USB socket, and you just plug the HDMI straight into it, and then the USB into the computer. This one you're going to need to plug in a separate power supply, so you can use a USB charger, that's fine, or another USB socket that you've got going spare. You plug it in through the input, but then you've also got a loop. So the other one is just HDMI in, USB out, the end. This one looks like it's made by the same people because it's got a very similar construction. Again, this unbranded, mysterious HDMI capture card. This one claims to be 60 FPS. I say I didn't buy it for myself because I thought it'd be a bit of a waste, but I'm increasingly tempted to buy it because it's 15 quid. And it's got a pass-through, so you can plug a console into this. I presume it's the same as one I've got. It takes in 4K, captures in 1080p, but takes in 4K. And I don't know if the loop will let you loop 4K through it and get 4K out the other side. No idea. What does it say? What's it claim? Support 1080p 30 for input output. I thought you said 1080p 60. That's 1080p 60 there. Anyway, the point being, you can't really go wrong for 15 quid either. You know, the Arado, which I was talking about earlier, Arado bought the £10 capture card. He ran it for 3 days straight. He said it didn't even get warm. So if you've got a camera lying around, obviously it wasn't free when you bought it, but if you've got a camera lying around that's got a clean HDMI output, you can get a £10 capture card or this £15 one if you really want to capture in 60 FPS. You don't really need to for a camera, but stick that in. I'm even thinking of, I've got an old Lumix here, given to me as a present. I always feel guilty for not using things that were given to me as a present. I feel guilty for not using things that I bought myself. The only reason I stopped using this, which is a great camera, great snapshot camera, used to use it for everything. Well, one reason is my phone camera now is good. Well, the second reason is the lens thing's falling off the front. But this has got HDMI output, micro HDMI inside. So I could swap the webcam for this and get somewhere near, possibly somewhere near a mirrorless SLR. It's a snapshot. This is what I'd call a high-end snapshot camera. And it's actually not at the highest end of the high end in reality. It's, it's a good camera, decent camera. Panasonic Lumix TZ something, TZ55. And the only reason I stopped using this is because there's a bit of dust behind the lens. It's rubbish reason, I know, but that's why. But that bit of dust is only a small part of the frame, and it only really shows up when you're taking photos of the sky with the sky in it, or photos at a distance. So for here, it's focused on me, so the dust should go out of focus. I should really clean the dust out somehow, but I'm too terrified to take it apart. But yeah, that could be a stream camera quite easily. There we go. So I was going to finish 7 minutes ago. Shall we see if we can find somebody to raid then? Let's have a look. So I will always try and do that. If I could type. Where's my mouse gone? There's got to be other people online. Have I left it so... This is the problem. Have I left it so late that there's nobody I know? What normally happens is, right... And let's not rebroadcast somebody else's stream. So I'm getting ready on the pause button. Good. You see? It lies to me. It lies to me. This raid makes me think that there's nobody I can raid. The raid thing in the dashboard. But if I actually go to Twitch proper... And I told you to pause. Then there's loads of people online, right? So should we go for them? We've got Call of Duty going on. We've got New World. New World's quite good, actually. I remember watching New World with somebody else. Let's do that then. So I'm gonna drop you into It's Codes' stream. And cheers for joining me, and we'll head off there in about 7 seconds time. I will aim to do at least one stream a week. I'll try and do one next week at some point. But for now, bye for now.